warriors, do your breathing exercise. Come back regimented, ready to get on and take this badass walk and dive in and be able to digest the morsels you need and the bite-sized pieces you can digest. You don't want to get in a hurry. You see, you go doing that shit and you get heartburn. And so we can't get ahead of ourselves in trying to heal, because you're going to put a band-aid on the hemorrhage and believe, oh, I got this shit now, I'm ready. And then as soon as you run in and have a connection, you think you got it like that, and you stop listening to reason. You stop applying lifestyle changes, and you get your ass handed to you. Karma has a funny way of coming back and reminding us the hard way, because apparently it's the only way you understand. Or all of a sudden, just like that, you begin to learn by observation, and you can listen to consequences of others, even in the story, and realize maybe that's not a good decision. You see, narcissists operate wide open, leaving everything to chance. And that's why they go through spending sprees and shit, because they're banking on someone bailing them out in the future. Someone's always been taking care of it, just in time. They've been saved by the bail. The street kitty paid a dividend all of a sudden. But then all of a sudden, sugar mama, sugar daddy, sugar baby, whatever it is, sugar all of a sudden tastes like salt. Both look alike though. Oh, what happened? The butterfly that fleeting butterfly feeling gets you caught up. The feeling inside gets the better of you. And all of a sudden you have a post-nut clarity. That's when you start noticing red flags. That's when most men start to realize, oh shit. Well, used to, before all of this climate change, that was figured out before, oops, shotgun wedding. See, narcissists are banking you making the right choice based on certain principles, traditional values, or religious doctrine to hold you to that. Whatever it might be, they're going to create that to keep you locked in a resentful relationship versus pursuing your purpose. Because they know they are very replaceable. Most of them will try and convince you that they're one of a kind. So they might be. You see, in their world, sure. Each one of them dumbasses drives a different vessel, has a different con. But as far as being replaceable, oh shit, they're a dime a dozen. They're running around tasting salty, bitter. It's the sugar that they after. Guy, you better shut up. Talking like that, using them wordy dirds. Look, don't allow the consequence and karma of others, regardless of who they might be, to become your emergencies. This is what they want. They want you to adopt and take over their emergencies while they sit there and watch you labor for them to save them from themselves as they giggle because they're getting their way again. This was their goal. You fell for it again. Warriors, beware of another. Stop what you're doing. Look at me. Pay attention. Another golden nugget. Something to be aware of from the devil's playground. An observation from the battlefield, the front line. All right. These are narcissists and sociopaths that have a relationship agreement to kind of have that Bonnie and Clyde outlook in relationships, as toxic as it sounds, as twisted as it may look. Understand that there are these polyamorous relationships that exist where they allow each other to go into relationships. Outside of that, they depend on each other, and so long as they meet once in a while to share the bounty with each other, do they not have a problem. And it's why you have this every now and again discarding between your relationship is to go and pay a visit. It's like two pimps that pimp themselves and each other out, because coincidentally, if one is out there and sees a target for the other, they'll share that, because that's that agreement. You see, you're stuck on the relationship based on the eyes of love, trust, yada yada, the fairy tale. You're not looking at it from the transactional eyes of the narcissist, sociopath, psychopath. They're in it for nothing more than materialism and money, status, clout chasing. Always looking for more, better, bestest. Everyone is a stepping stone in life. A goal to conquer. A notch. Warriors, I used to tell folks it's a meat market out here. Well, because it is. But the meat I've been talking about is different. Your money, your energy, your attention, and your time. That's the meat. That is your currency. Warriors, it's why narcissists have this wild thirst in their eyes. It's almost like a googly eye. It's a strange energy that you're able to pick up on, that they feel confident that they're hiding well. And how can you put it? It's kind of like what Cat Williams says. He comes in one of his comedies, and he's coming in and he's going, everyone's hustling, 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 hustling. Everyone's hustling, hustling. It's that vibe, like that narcissistic thirst. The bait and switch, the thirst traps, and some of it just blatantly putting it out there. Like, hey, here it is. Are you a taker? Right? Warriors, what I want you to understand is narcissists are the quickest and the firstest to see change and adopt change. They're the first. In fact, I'm going to dare say right now, watch out, mírame, look at me. La chingada. Another Spanish lesson, right? Mira, look at me. Narcissists are very adaptive. So we're going to see a climate change. We're going to see what I call the soft girl era, where there's going to be a high percentage of sales in sundresses and very feminine type changes. Less makeup, more natural, softer tone, less independent talk, and more how we need a balanced type warrior, but no one really truly knowing how to conjugate that. Not truly identifying with details what it is they seek, but playing a part, right? We're going to start seeing that in narcissists. No one adopts to a change quickest. But let me tell you what also I've noticed, an observation from the streets now. Check this out. This shit ain't for everybody now, so pay attention. Come here, come in closer. Watch out. Más closer is a la madre. Look. Narcissist men and women have no problem cold approaching. Look, this is the game they play. They will tell you, hey, I don't chase. But they don't mean it. Oh, they'll chase like a motherfucker. Because they know how hard it is to find quality, and they know it when they see it also. Just like you do. Just like you can define and see the nature of narcissism, whether you want to throw a spiritual spin, religious spin, logical spin, scientific, medical. Ill is ill. Narcissism is narcissism, and we know that there's special people among us. We fucked around and allowed them to convince us, the majority, to believe they should be treated as equal, and we thought as a society of normal folk that, you know, that they would be able to digest this with humility and it not go to their head. Wrong. Talk about a major fail. And so now we got a mess to clean up. Narcissists are in panic mode. They know directly they need to be able to hide under the shadows of those solid-ass warriors. What their worry is, and what's happening already is, enough of you have been wounded and awakened and have spread the word like wildfire in your own beautiful ways and made it hard for the narcissists. But don't mean that they're not going to be able to tickle your ears, because they're not afraid to come in and preach, though, like they don't chase, like they got options. You see, warriors, because no one knows the dating climate more than those that frequent the carousel. Whether it be a man or a woman, it matters not. Matter of fact, let me tell you, they're cringing more at the bit at listening to me talk than you are in this video. Because they know I'm speaking the fucking truth, and it drives them mad. But you know what they're banking on? None of you are listening. That you're going to take this video as great motivational talk, good speak, hell of a delivery, memorable for a couple months, until I find that next ear to lean on, dick to sit on, and forget all about the lessons until 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Till you're back. Only this time, you're going to reach out. Because it bothers you so damn much that I speak that which you believe. You think I'm a fly on the wall watching, not realizing it's so predictable that it should have you shook enough now to listen to your own voice inside. You know, the one leading you into the right path. It's not always the easiest one. Hell no, it wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be for everybody. Look, I'm not saying don't feel, don't have emotions. What I'm saying is don't do it in front of toxic asses. Don't do it in public. Cry, scream, yell, throw rocks, do whatever the fuck you want in private. Don't give the animals food. It's a feeding frenzy. And once they know that you'll feed them, they invite all their fucking friends. Whenever in the wild you've been able to feed one raccoon, and in 3 days got 20 of them fuckers. Got you naming them and everything like you done something. Freeloaders, beggars, opportunists, predators. Warriors learn by observation. Save yourself the fucking butt hurt. And understand. Seek guidance, consultations from folks just like you. And spiritual talk, An angel's cry can only be consoled and healed by another angel. You don't believe me? You want to know why the Wounded Warrior Project is such a success? And that's all I'm trying to introduce into this tribe. To give you a fundamental foundation of understanding that we hear each other's voice and speak a different language. No different than you would not understand the lingo of our military talk. But it's no different than that brotherhood not understanding this language I speak, but respect me enough to know in my walk, my actions, in uniform, whatever it is I'm talking about, they respect. I never led them into harm's way. We prove that by actions. And in your remarks, you're building up your confidence to come back, speak your truth, share your journey, and share that healing power with those of your own damn kind, because you've now learned how to identify and feel comfortable enough to at least have a leap of faith in your own kind for a change. You invested in stupidity long enough with narcissists. So I'm not saying don't feel to heal. You got to. You got to have the screams, the shout outs. Every now and again we have we have enough. But better do that in private than to be explosive and add fuel to the fire around you and unnecessarily painted yourself a target to new orbiters that just had nothing better to do, and now all of a sudden you became a project. Follow your heart, warriors, but never forget your fucking brains. Your mind is like a computer. Ruminating, when someone tells me trauma bond, ruminating, entertaining, it's because of this. Pay attention now. Look at me. Mírame. Pon atención. Pay attention. Mira, pay attention. Warriors, your mind requires to be, it needs to be fed. It needs data. It's designed to please you, though. It's designed, it needs a goal. It needs something to entertain itself. So you got to give it something to think about, something to attain, something to do all day long to make you happy. Like a puppy with two Peters. Now look, because of this, if you don't give it some new, and what do I mean by new? I'm talking about shit you ain't done before. Not stuff that you already know how to do, where your mind can still get lost in shit. And you're still ruminating, but you're fooling yourself. I got a hobby. No, Junior, don't get it twisted. We're fixing to add some details so that you don't have an excuse no more. You know what I mean. If you ain't never took dance lessons, that's what I'm talking about. Now you got to pay attention. Now you're giving your mind something to do during idle time to do what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, twist, turn, tuck. And so you're giving your mind entertainment, excitement, the dopamine rush it requires in a healthy distraction kind of way. That's what I mean. Warriors, when you're not doing that, your mind is going to backpedal. And it's almost like saying, okay, I'll show you. I'll have to solve a mystery in some of these riddles that we've lived through. Because understand, you're not reliving something in your mind you ain't experienced. It's all it's got to play with. And it's going to go through trying to figure out and put puzzle pieces together that don't exist. And sometimes blind squirrel gets a nut and you connect a dot, though. But it's an emotional roller coaster that's not necessary and very manageable. Let me say that in a way that you'll remember. You're doing it to yourself. And it's something you are programmed to do in autopilot to defend and justify the path that you've been on every step of the way. You find an excuse. You know, some of you have convinced yourself that maybe God put you in there to fix them, to justify the abuse. And then they validated that. They'll back it up. They heard you say it. Or someone they had as a flying monkey heard you say it, and now they know. Oh, they got me as a project. Hook, line, and sinker. Got this one. I should play on that. Warriors, in this awareness, it should save you so much heartache in your future walk that this is what I need you to make clear with you. What you're avoiding is being targeted and stolen from. And that's why I say every and anyone who's a narcissist, psychopath, sociopath, borderline, are liars, cheaters, thieves, and murderers is because of this. Guaranteed, beyond a shadow of a doubt, they steal your money, your energy, your attention, and your time, your meat. That's by lying, cheating, stealing. And ultimately, depending on what level of psychopathy, you become a statistic because you waited too long. You just had to see it to believe it some more. And they'll love you to death. Warriors, you got some snap to you. In fact, this is what you're avoiding. Hell, even, y'all ever heard of Ancestry.com? They're hooking up DNA and telling folks who's their mom, their dad, and grandma, and all the way down that tree. Well, let me tell you, I bet there's some loose branches falling off that fucker. I don't think Ancestry.com can keep up with the amount of adultery and fornication. You know what? Check this out. I bet you $1 and a donut because states aren't interested, at least in the U.S. This is just me talking. In the U.S., pay attention now. Stop what you're doing. You're going to spit your fucking coffee or mango out. In the U.S., I venture to say narcissists have targeted many a men in child support court in different jurisdictions in different states, have different men targets, all paying for the same child, the one child, collecting checks. That would explain why many of them have a number of P.O. boxes in different states, different addresses. You may have been married to them over 10 years, 15, 20, 30, and you go do a background check on them and you go, what the fuck is this? We've been married this whole time. We should have the same address, same report. And you notice a change? Oh yeah. Multiple lives wrecked. Energy stolen, time taken. Warriors, this is what you're guarding yourself against. Don't become a statistic for anybody. And you know what they're looking for more than anything? Trim. Not street cut. I just wanted to say trim. Trim. They want some of that new, some of that moist. Damn mad. Getting carried away, y'all. Look, everybody's hustling. You hear me? Happy dance. Come on. And then we dive in. You ready? Hustling, hustling. They have no shame. Warriors, they're going to come back for a Hoover. You better know it. Look, they've tried and don't think to the moment they get enough liquid courage to approach, text, or send a flying monkey, whatever it might be, right? Don't think that they're going to stop trying to replace you. They have no choice. They don't have a choice. Their survivability requires it. Now, in the spiritual talk, you know what that means? They're bound to a dark spirit that they called on, mocking God, and sent it to you. It was returned to sender. Because what we talk about in layman's terms as you're aware now of the manipulation of people in the world and the propensity to do that to each other is cruel, but happens nonetheless, is a reality. In the spiritual talk, we say that is someone who's manifesting dark spirits, demons, and they've surrendered their logical to the toddler mind, to the demon side, Cain's bloodline. You see, I want you to have a clearer understanding and not get lost in what narcissists are next going to try and do is cause a divide in spiritual and logical and religious, male and female, to keep us divided. And what I'm doing is kind of mixing us a little bit together, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Jello and pudding. Oh, dang it, man. What I want you to understand is be kind to each other. Respect the beautiful insights you have to share. This is why you're able to thrive with a smile. You don't wish any ill will on anyone. That's all you can ask is for respectful cooperation. And what makes you a better person to me, I might pay attention and listen. Because that's the curiosity of those wanting to achieve a certain mental awareness and maturity, self-growth. If you don't see that pattern in others, why are you associating with them? Shame on you. Because you do know the damn difference. You just don't apply. Failure to launch and execute, that's on you. You know that's the damn truth. Narcissists, they're cringing right now. That screams volumes. It's never goodbye, warriors. Always until next time. Thanks for your support. It's always been welcome. And look, don't make me flex. What? I need you to subscriptions. Hit that button down there. It don't cost you shit. Hit the subscriptions button. Oh, and the notifications. It's a bell. You hit notifications, and whenever I do, every now and again I do random posts. Some motivational talk, some speak. Every now and again I post a quote. Just to keep you on your damn toes. Warriors, one day I need you to pass it forward, and if I can just show you how it's done, it'll be easier for you to spot and execute in the future. Because you know what worked for you, but you're also going to learn how to share it with the healing power of variety in how you serve it. So the one in front of you can pick and choose what medicine they need. But you're not going to give up till you get the, I get it. Man, thank you. Man. Now you know where I'm coming from, don't you? See, that's the feels worth investing in when you choose right. When it starts happening for you, now you're feeding your mind something. It's a healthy distraction. And you're keeping it busy, and it wants to please you. It will take every experience and lesson learned in life in championing the ability to see your own kind. It's gonna be a mind blower. You're a mental ninja. No one will ever know it. They will never know any different unless they speak the same language as we're speaking now. The hardest part for a coach, mentor, advisor, counselor that's truly passionate about the work, the message, and saving the lives and sharing shortcuts, the hardest part is knowing full well that there's going to come a time where we're going to part ways. And we're going to do it in such a way that we glide into our own fade away. But we know it would be wrong not to share that beautiful, heavenly, angelic voice of healing with the world. So we motivate you to go do what you should be doing, building your kingdom. Appreciate your support, warriors. Now get out there and own it. You got this. It's never goodbye. Always until next time. Namaste.